All right, wondering what to do with all your old electronics after the holidays. Maybe you got a new laptop or a new, I don't know, iWatch, Apple Watch. Here's what you should and shouldn't do with those old electronics is Robert Burns from Sun King. Robert, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, Chris. Good morning. We had so many months to sit around and kind of window shop before the holidays kicked in. And now those gifts finally came across. I know a lot of people were updating those Apple Watches and those iPads. And so this is going to be a great chance for you to figure out not only one, what's the responsible thing to do with the old ones, but maybe you can make a buck off of it as well.
Yeah, that's a win-win. If I can get it out of my basement and I can make some money on it. So tell us how to get started doing that, Robert.
Yeah, well, the first thing we know is there were a lot of those devices that were activated over the holiday season. I think the last thing I saw that we learned about 8 out of every 10 devices were these things. They were Apple devices, phones, iPads, stuff like that. So that means that for all those people that upgraded, there's going to be those old devices as well that they want to either get rid of. Well, here's what you can do. There's obviously there's the first option, which is to repurpose it. You got a kid in the house, you can find another use for it, use it as maybe a smart device that you can just dedicate. Perfect. If not, well, then it might be time to get rid of it. As you mentioned, put it in the back of your trunk, and recycling them are going to be the best way to do that. Now, we have a couple of options to do that as well. We'll go over in a little bit, but you want to be able to recycle them. Maybe it's a little bit of a newer device, though. Maybe you upgraded because you wanted the shiny thing. Maybe you upgraded because you wanted those new features. Well, that older device that may be just a year or two old, it might still hold some value. So the best thing to do is go online and try and figure out if there's a website or a place that can give you some cash back for it. There's a bunch of options that are out there. If you want to stay local, we have an option at Sun King that'll buy back your devices. And if there's no value for it, we'll recycle them for free as well.
That's good to know that you all have a local option for selling them or trying to make a buck, as you said, off of those old electronics.
Yeah, we have this that we launched back when, when the pandemic really started. We labeled it coronabuyback.com. We actually announced it on WHAM back then. And we've seen a lot of people come to us and say, hey, I've got these cameras, I've got these smart speakers, these Google Homes. I'm not using them anymore, and I could use 10 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever it is. The screen may be cracked, the battery doesn't work anymore. We'll still take it if there's value for it, and we can kind of repurpose it. That's the obvious option from that point. If not, then we want to be able to responsibly break it down, get those materials out the right way before they end up in the landfill where nobody wants them to be.
Okay, speaking of, we're looking at this electronic processing facility, your recycling facility right now, and it's not just the recycling bin where you throw out your cardboard and your milk jugs, correct, if you're going to recycle these items?
Yeah, it's completely different. We have large crates over here by our warehouse in Brockport. We also have drop-off locations scattered throughout Rochester and the Finger Lakes area. We also have an option where we have a drop-off spot at Eco Park. We drive up, we take it out there. Now, a lot of people know what you're seeing on your screen right now. A lot of people know those collection events that we hold every year. We are still planning to hold those this year. We just haven't released the schedule yet. A lot of things go into planning them, but we are going to have them, especially right here in Rochester where we call home. And those are the easiest way. Put them in a box, put them to the side. When those events come around, you register online. You show up to the event, we take it out of your trunk for you, and you drive off on your Saturday day and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
It's funny seeing those old TVs, the big bulky ones we all grew up with. Robert, as far as making sure your personal information, I think that's a fear people have when they're getting rid of their electronics. How can you make sure that nothing you have on there is going to be shared with someone who could use it for nefarious reasons?
Yeah, the most important, probably the easiest thing to do is to factory reset or erase your hard drives completely. It's very simple. A lot of the devices now have a setting in there. It says general, it says reset, and you can figure it out from there. They walk you through it. If for some reason there is something on there still, maybe you missed it, maybe you forgot to log out, whatever it is, if you bring it to a certified recycler, then what they do is, like we shred those devices and the hard drives inside of them. We don't need it. If they're computers, those hard drives are going to go away. We can replace those. If they're tablets or if they're phones or if they're watches or anything like that, we have a system. And a lot of those recyclers and a lot of those places where they do the trade-in services as well, they have the ability to completely wipe out those devices, and they make sure that they let you know they're doing that as well. So keep an eye out for that if that's an option that you're going to go for.
Yeah, that's good news and a great service that you all offer. Thank you so much, Robert, for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having us, and let's make sure we do the right thing with those old devices.
Yes, I love a good spring cleaning in a smart way.